You've been searching your entire life, searching for the right person, the perfect job, the breakthrough moment, the spiritual awakening that will finally make everything click into place. You've read the books, attended the workshops, meditated until your legs went numb, and repeated affirmations until your voice grew hoarse. You've chased every guru, every method, every promise of enlightenment. And yet here you are, still seeking, still waiting, still believing that the answer is somewhere out there, just beyond your reach. But what if I told you that the very act of seeking is the prison that keeps you from finding what you're looking for? This isn't another story about working harder or finding the right technique. This is about the most counterintuitive truth in the universe. The moment you stop looking, you find. The instant you let go, you receive. And the reason most people never get it is because this truth goes against everything we've been conditioned to believe about how life works. We live in a culture that worships the hunt, that glorifies the struggle, that tells us we must earn our worth through endless pursuit. But the universe operates on a completely different frequency, one that responds not to our grasping, but to our surrender, not to our effort, but to our alignment. Think about it for a moment. Every profound experience in your life, every moment of genuine connection, every breakthrough that actually mattered, didn't it come when you weren't trying so hard? When you had given up the fight? When you had relaxed into what was rather than straining toward what might be? That's not coincidence, that's the fundamental operating system of reality showing you how it actually works. But we miss it because we're too busy looking in the wrong direction, seeking in the realm of form what can only be found in the realm of being. The seeking mind is like a dog chasing its own tail, creating the very distance it's trying to close. When you're constantly looking for something, you're operating from the frequency of not having it. When you're desperately trying to become someone different, you're reinforcing the identity of someone who isn't enough as they are. When you're endlessly pursuing peace, happiness, or love, you're broadcasting the signal that these states are absent from your experience. And the universe, being the perfect mirror that it is, reflects back exactly what you're emanating. More seeking, more wanting, more of the very lack you're trying to escape. This is where most spiritual teachings get it backwards. They tell you to seek harder, to want more intensely, to visualize more clearly. They give you techniques to manifest your desires, methods to attract your dreams, practices to align with your goals. But they're still operating from the fundamental misunderstanding that you're separate from what you want, that there's a distance to be closed, a gap to be bridged. They're teaching you to become a more sophisticated seeker, when what you actually need is to discover that you were never the seeker at all. The truth is both simpler and more radical than anything you've been told. You are not a human being trying to have a spiritual experience. You are consciousness itself, temporarily focused through the lens of a human form, playing the game of forgetting and remembering who you really are. The love you're seeking is your very nature. The peace you're chasing is your deepest essence. The abundance you're trying to manifest is the infinite field of possibility that you already are. You're not lacking anything. You're not broken. You're not behind schedule. You're not doing it wrong. You're the universe experiencing itself subjectively, and every moment of seeking is just another way the cosmos is exploring its own infinite creativity. But here's the challenge. Letting go of seeking feels like death to the mind. The ego, which has built its entire identity around being the one who needs something, who lacks something, who must achieve something, interprets surrender as annihilation. It will fight tooth and nail to keep you searching because searching validates its existence. It will convince you that letting go is giving up, that surrender is weakness, that accepting what is means settling for less. It will whisper that you're just one technique away, one breakthrough away, one more effort away from finally getting what you want. And so the seeking continues, the wheel keeps spinning, and the very thing you're looking for remains forever, just out of reach. Here's where it gets interesting and where most people's minds start to rebel against what I'm about to share. The universe doesn't respond to your seeking. It responds to your being. It doesn't care how hard you try, how much you want something, or how perfectly you perform your spiritual practices. What it mirrors back to you is the frequency you're emanating from the depths of your being, the vibrational signature of your core identity, the electromagnetic field generated by your most fundamental beliefs about yourself and reality. When you're seeking, you're in the frequency of lack. When you're trying to become something different, you're affirming what you currently are isn't enough. When you're working toward a goal, You're operating from the assumption that you don't already have what you need. And the field of infinite possibility, which is infinitely responsive and completely neutral, simply reflects back more of whatever frequency you're broadcasting. It gives you more opportunities to seek, more experiences of not having, more confirmation that you're separate from what you desire. But the moment you shift from seeking to being, everything changes. Not because you've learned a new technique or discovered a secret method, but because you've aligned with the fundamental truth of your nature. You've stopped pretending to be the seeker and remembered that you are the sought. You've ceased the endless pursuit and recognized that you are what you were pursuing. You've let go of trying to get somewhere else and awakened to the perfection of where you already are. This shift isn't intellectual. It's not something you can think your way into or affirm your way toward. It's a complete reorganization of your being, a quantum leap from one timeline to another, a death and rebirth that happens in the space of a single breath. One moment you're the person who needs something, and the next moment you're the presence that is already whole. One instant you're the seeker, and the next you're the finder. One heartbeat you're trying to receive, and the next you're recognizing that you are reception itself. Think of it like this. Imagine you're standing in a vast ocean, dying of thirst, desperately looking for water. You're scanning the horizon, diving beneath the surface, calling out to the sky, begging the universe to bring you what you need. But you're already surrounded by exactly what you're seeking. The water is not separate from you. You're immersed in it. The seeking is what's preventing you from recognizing what's already present. The moment you stop looking for water and simply open your mouth, you realize you were never separate from what you needed. This is the cosmic joke, the divine paradox, the ultimate spiritual teaching that can't be taught because it can only be recognized. You are already what you're seeking. You are already connected to everyone you want to love. You are already abundant beyond measure. You are already free. You are already home. The seeking mind creates the illusion of separation, of distance, of lack. But in reality, there is no distance to cross, no gap to bridge, no achievement to unlock. There is only the recognition of what was always already true. But this recognition isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous remembering, a moment-by-moment choice to release the seeking mind and rest in the truth of your being. It's a practice of letting go, again and again, of the stories that tell you you're not enough, the beliefs that convince you you're missing something, the identities that insist you need to become someone else. Every time you catch yourself seeking, you have an opportunity to stop, breathe, and remember, you are not the seeker. You are the very thing being sought. And here's what happens when you truly get this: when you stop trying to receive and realize you are reception itself. The universe rushes in to meet you, not because you've finally done something right, but because you've stopped doing the thing that was blocking the natural flow. You've removed the dam that was preventing the river from reaching you. You've opened the window that was keeping the sunlight out. You've tuned into the frequency that was always broadcasting, but that you couldn't hear over the noise of your seeking. This moment, right now, as you're listening to these words, is an invitation to stop, to let go, to release the need to find anything, achieve anything, become anything, to rest in the simple recognition that you are already what you were looking for. Can you feel it? Can you sense the relief that comes with no longer having to search? Can you taste the sweetness of arrival that was always available but hidden beneath the urgency of seeking? If something inside you is recognizing itself in these words, if there's a part of you that's exhaling for the first time in years, I want to invite you to stay connected to this conversation. This isn't just a video you watch and forget. This is a doorway into a completely different way of being, and I'd love to walk through it with you. Hit that subscribe button not because I asked you to, but because you feel called to explore this deeper recognition with others who are also remembering who they really are. And in the comments, share just one word that captures what you're feeling right now as you let go of seeking. Maybe it's relief, maybe it's recognition, maybe it's peace. Whatever wants to emerge, let it be your signal to the universe that you're ready to stop looking and start being. Now let me share with you the actual mechanics of how this works, because understanding the science behind the mystery makes it easier to trust the process. We're living in a field of infinite possibility, a quantum soup where every potential outcome already exists in waveform, waiting for the right conditions to collapse into physical reality. This isn't mystical mumbo-jumbo. This is cutting-edge physics applied to the art of being human. And what determines which possibilities collapse into your experience isn't your effort, your worthiness, or your spiritual sophistication. It's your vibrational frequency, the electromagnetic signature you're emanating from the core of your being. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that's 60 times greater in amplitude than your brain and can be detected several feet away from your body. This field is constantly broadcasting information about your internal state to the quantum environment around you. When you're seeking, when you're in lack, when you're trying to become something other than what you are, your heart field is chaotic, incoherent, scrambled. It's sending mixed signals to the field of possibility like a radio that's tuned to static instead of a clear station. And the universe, being infinitely responsive, mirrors back that static as confusion, struggle, and more seeking. But when you let go, when you release the need to be anywhere other than where you are, something extraordinary happens. Your heart rhythm becomes coherent, your electromagnetic field becomes organized, and your entire being starts broadcasting a clear, unified signal. This coherence creates what scientists call a torus field, a donut-shaped pattern of energy that surrounds your body and extends far beyond your physical form. In this state, you become like a tuning fork that vibrates at the frequency of wholeness, and the universe begins to resonate with that frequency, collapsing the possibilities that match your new vibrational signature. This is why miracles seem to happen when people stop trying so hard. It's not that the universe finally decides to reward their patience. It's that they've finally aligned with the natural flow of energy that was always available but blocked by their seeking. When you're no longer creating interference with your wanting, needing, and trying, the field can respond to the deeper truth of your being, which is already connected to everything you could ever desire. But here's what most people miss. This isn't about positive thinking or managing your emotions. This is about a fundamental shift in identity, a recognition that you are not the small self that needs something, but the infinite consciousness that is everything. When you truly realize this, not just intellectually but cellularly, your entire energy field reorganizes itself. You stop broadcasting lack because you recognize abundance as your nature. You stop seeking love because you remember that you are love. You stop trying to manifest anything because you understand that you are the manifestation of life itself. The seeker believes they're separate from what they want and must somehow bridge that gap through effort, technique, or spiritual practice. But the realized being understands that there is no gap, no separation, no distance to close. There is only the play of consciousness exploring itself through the dance of forgetting and remembering, seeking and finding, losing and discovering. From this perspective, seeking isn't wrong. It's just another movement in the cosmic dance. But it's not necessary. It's like searching for your glasses while wearing them or looking for your keys while holding them in your hand. This shift from seeking to being doesn't happen gradually. It happens in an instant, like a switch being flipped or a light being turned on. One moment you're identified with the seeker, and the next moment you recognize yourself as the sought. One breath you're trying to receive, and the next breath you realize you are reception itself. It's not an achievement or an attainment. It's a recognition of what was always already true. And once this recognition dawns, even if you forget it again, even if you slip back into seeking mode, you can never completely unknow what you've seen. The beautiful thing about this recognition is that it doesn't require you to change anything about your external circumstances. You don't need to quit your job, leave your relationship, or move to a monastery. You can be in the exact same life situation and experience it from a completely different frequency. The seeking mind experiences everything as a problem to be solved, a goal to be achieved, or an obstacle to be overcome. But the being mind experiences everything as an expression of the infinite creativity of consciousness, perfect in its unfolding, exactly as it's meant to be. This doesn't mean you become passive or stop taking action. It means your actions arise from a different source. Instead of being driven by need, they're inspired by love. Instead of being motivated by lack, they're guided by fullness. Instead of trying to get somewhere else, you're expressing what's already here. Your entire relationship with life transforms from seeking to celebrating, from wanting to appreciating, from trying to receiving. And paradoxically, when you stop trying to manifest anything, everything you could ever need begins to manifest through you. So here we are, at the edge of the most profound recognition available to human consciousness, the understanding that you were never broken, never lacking, never separate from what you were seeking. This isn't a consolation prize for those who've given up trying. This is the ultimate truth that every spiritual tradition has been pointing toward, in its own language, through its own metaphors, across thousands of years of human seeking. You are already what you came here to find, but recognizing this truth is just the beginning. Living from this truth, embodying this recognition in every moment, letting it transform not just how you think but how you breathe, how you move, how you relate to every person and situation in your life. This is where the real adventure begins. Because once you stop seeking, once you let go of the need to be anywhere other than where you are, you discover that your entire purpose shifts. You're no longer here to get something or become someone. You're here to give something, to express something, to be a unique manifestation of the infinite creativity that you are. This is what happens when you finally get it. Your whole relationship with desire transforms. You stop wanting things because you lack them and start wanting things because you love them. You stop trying to attract experiences and start allowing experiences to flow through you. You stop working to create your reality and start recognizing that you are reality creating itself. Your desires become expressions of life wanting to experience itself more fully, rather than attempts to fill some imagined emptiness within you. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you no longer need anything to be different, everything begins to shift. Not because you've manipulated reality or mastered some spiritual technique, but because you've aligned with the natural flow of existence that was always trying to express itself through you. When you stop being the dam, you become the river. When you stop being the cloud, you become the sky. When you stop being the seeker, you become the very source of what was being sought. This doesn't mean your human experience becomes problem-free or that you never feel challenged or confused again. What it means is that you meet every experience from a different center, a different knowing, a different trust. You understand that even your confusion is consciousness exploring itself, that even your challenges are life loving itself into greater expression, that even your apparent mistakes are perfect movements in a cosmic dance that's far more intelligent than your seeking mind could ever comprehend. Living from this recognition is like being an actor who suddenly remembers they're in a play. You can still fully engage with your role, feel all the emotions, speak all the lines, hit all the marks, but you're no longer lost in the drama. You remember that your consciousness playing at being human, infinity exploring itself through the experience of limitation, love disguised as a person who sometimes forgets how loved they are. This remembering doesn't diminish the human experience. It transforms it from a problem to be solved into a gift to be savored. And as you begin to live from this place, as you stop seeking and start being, something wonderful happens. You become a transmission tower for this same recognition in others, not through preaching or teaching or trying to convince anyone of anything, but simply through being what you are. Your presence becomes an invitation for others to remember what they are. Your being becomes a mirror in which others can see their own wholeness. Your letting go gives others permission to stop trying so hard and start trusting the perfection of what's already here. This is how the transformation spreads. Not through effort, but through emanation. Not through seeking, but through being. You become a doorway through which others can walk into their own recognition. You become a reminder that the seeking can stop, that the answer was never hidden, that we are all already what we came here to find. And the more people who remember this truth, the more the collective field shifts from seeking to being, from lack to abundance, from separation to unity. So as we come to the close of this journey together, I want to invite you into something deeper than just watching and learning. I want to invite you into being part of a movement of consciousness that's remembering itself, a community of beings who are choosing to stop seeking and start living from the truth of what they are. If these words have landed in your heart, if something inside you is saying yes to letting go of the seeking mind, I warmly invite you to subscribe to this space. Not because you need more content or information, but because together we can support each other in living from this recognition. And in the comments, I'd love to hear about your own moment of letting go. Share a time when you stopped trying so hard and something beautiful happened. Tell us about a moment when you released your grip and life surprised you. Describe what you're choosing to stop seeking so you can start being. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to give themselves permission to let go. And if you have questions about living from this place or topics you'd like to explore as we deepen into this recognition together, share those too. This isn't just my journey. It's our collective awakening to what we've always been. Thank you for taking this journey with me, for allowing these words to land where they're meant to land, for being willing to question the seeking mind and trust the being that you are. Remember, you are not here to find yourself. You are here to be yourself. You are not here to get love. You are here to be love. You are not here to receive abundance. You are here to recognize that you are abundance itself. The seeking can stop now. You have arrived. You are home. You always were.